Oh, ladies and gentlemen, what's happening with Jay Slater? Now, I've been receiving a number of emails recently in regards to this new theory that's going around that Jay Slater is still alive, living in Ibiza. There are a few accounts publishing this information. I'm not too sure where they're getting this information from. Out of the blue, we've had these random TikTok accounts that believe they know what's happened to Jay Slater. Last time we done a Jay Slater video, it was in regards to the auntie calling out Brad and Rachel. We haven't heard anything since then. There's been no real update in regards to what's going on with the inquest. Mark Williams Thomas hasn't said anything since the last video he done. And then you've got these people online that are making up these theories, clutching at straws. They've asked a number of things that don't sit right with me. Jay leaving the NRG festival, going up to that Airbnb, and Jay leaving that Airbnb and ended up at the bottom of the ravine. None of it makes sense. Affiliate statements make no sense. Ayub's statements make no sense. Lucy's statements make no sense. And Brad's statements definitely don't make no sense. Mark Williams Thomas claims that he knows why Jay left the Airbnb in the fashion that he did. So when is he going to reveal that information? When is he going to let us know what he knows? Or is he just talking BS? Because at this moment in time, it's extremely frustrating for myself knowing that I just can't put this to bed yet. A person that is doing a fantastic job is Duncan Smith. A massive shout out to Duncan Smith. He is doing an amazing job breaking down every single aspect of this case. Unfortunately, he only does 15-minute videos. By the end, I'm like, no, I need more. But he's doing a fantastic job. And there are things that he's looking at that no one has looked at. There are things that he's breaking down that no one has broken down. And if you start connecting the dots that he has to the information that we already have, it starts to look even more sketchy. Now, something I wanted to mention is the autopsy that we've been given for Jay Slater. Now, recently we had the sad news, the death of Liam Payne. But within the space of a couple of days, they gave us detailed information on that autopsy. They told us how many injuries Liam Payne suffered from. 25 different injuries from that fall from the 3rd floor. Allegedly, Jay fell from 300 plus feet. All we got told about was an injury to the head that was consistent with a fall from height. Another thing that was mentioned in regards to Liam Payne's autopsy was the drugs that Liam had in his system. Now, we saw the footage of Jay leading up to him going to the mountains. Why haven't we been told about the drugs that Jay had in his system? But now we've got these new guys online that claim they know what's happened to Jay Slater. They claim they know, they've got the information, their connects, their plug. Like, what the hell is going on here? Let's take a look at this.
Why is it only now that TikTokers are posting that Jay Slater is still alive? Well, there is a high possibility of Jay being alive. I don't get it. No one's witnessed that body. No one's seen the body or identified the body. No one. They've gone off the Guardian Civil's advice and recommendations. I mean, personally, I would not settle until I knew that was my son, guaranteed. But anyway, I don't get why TikTokers are only posting that it could be a possibility it's not Jay. They're late to the party. Anyway, also, there's a couple friends of Jay Slater's, including Brad, posting highlights of Jay's life, of him laughing, of being the character he was, of being a happy person, right? Why has he posted a video 5 hours ago? Are we catching on for something? There's something on the horizon. I think that's something that we're going to have to look out for. But also, I think Ayub's getting a little bit scared as well. Keep an eye on him. I think another thing to consider, all these random profiles that are reaching out to us lot on TikTok saying, this is happening, that is happening, etc. Who are these people? Who are these people behind these accounts?
Exactly.
That's quite an interesting one to consider as well, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's extremely questionable who are the people behind the accounts who are claiming to know the truth about Jay Slater. The moment Lucy set up the GoFundMe, the trolling instantly began, and it's just never stopped.
Video together, and I've put off making this video for a long time because it seems a bit far-fetched to me, and I literally thought there was no truth in it, so I just didn't make the video. But I keep getting messages all day every day about Jay's case and whether I think he's still alive, and so I'm just going to put it all into one video and you can just make your own minds up. Is there a chance that Jay Slater could still be alive? Absolutely. I don't know. We know that his remains were found. We know that he was buried. We know that not one person in his family saw Jay or any part of his body.
I mean, that's the only thing that makes a person believe he could still be alive, because no one in the family has seen the body, allegedly. The Spanish coroner have confirmed that it is Jay's body. In fact, what it says here, published by the BBC, the fingerprint tests that have been carried out on the body show that it does correspond to Jay Slater. So that confirms it was fingerprint tests that these guys done, which makes no sense for a body that's been within the ravine for 29 days. And it also says that tests also show that the cause of death was multiple traumas caused by a fall in a rocky area. It doesn't make any sense to me that the body was found in that area. That was the part where the Guardia Civil said Jay wouldn't have gone because you need ropes and a harness to get down there. Let's say what we've been told in regards to Jay is true. The only way he could have got there to that destination from the Airbnb is if he was taken there. I just don't think if Jay was out of his face and he was on all of these different type of narcotics, he would have been able to functionally walk up that road all the way to that point of entrance to the ravine, walk through the ravine, and then off a cliff. But he never walked all the way to that destination. He was driven all the way to that destination. Then he was let out the car and it was like, go on, Jay, see you later, mate. And they just drove off maybe or watched him just walk off into the ravine. That would have been the only way it would have made sense. I just can't see Jay, based on the footage that I have seen of Jay, looking that waved, getting all the way to the Airbnb, taking those pictures on his Snapchat with a blanket, and then walking all of that way an hour later, which would have taken him about 45 minutes as well, just to get to the part where he has to walk off road, and then he walks through the ravine. So the only way it would have made sense for Jay to have got there and been waved whilst in the mountains, whereby he's hallucinating or seeing things, and it's just a lot going on due to the narcotics that he's consumed that evening. The only way he would have got there is if someone drove him there. They would have had to have driven him there, taken him on the path in the car, and then just got him out, told him to walk, and he just started walking. They could have taken him there as a joke, put him on the path and walked off and said, oh, don't worry, we'll come back for him in half an hour. Went back for him in half an hour and didn't see him and was like, oh my God, where is he? And then they were searching for him in the night. Jay! Couldn't find him. Other than that, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
We know that his dad had requested to at least look at the scar on Jay's leg and had been told no, that Jay wasn't fit for viewing. So that
look at that. So the dad wanted to look at the scar on Jay's leg and they said no, they rejected that. Another thing that I want to mention, which is extremely questionable, is the fact that Jay didn't attract any wildlife. He didn't attract any animals whilst in the mountains. If he was there for 29 days, he would have 100% attracted wildlife. The fact that there would have been more animals than normal attracted to one specific type of area of the mountain, that would have alerted hikers and people walking in those areas. You can't have a body that's bleeding out because it's been cut by a cactus, not being sniffed out by various different animals. Over a short space of time, the animals of that area would have brought Jay Slater's body to the attention of the locals. 110%, whether it would have been birds, whether it would have been various different other animals. There would have been more animals attracted to that area where his body was, but there wasn't, because Jay's body might not have never been there. Jay's body could have been planted there. When even Down the Rapids comes out and says there's a lot of noise happening in Mascot at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm not too sure what this noise is, but it's really, really wild at it. Then the following morning, guess what? They find Jay's body. Another thing that doesn't sit right with me, ladies and gentlemen, is the fact that Debbie Duncan thanked the Netherlands rescue team on the GoFundMe message. I thought it was Chris Tenerife and his side chick that found the body. Why was Debbie thanking the Netherlands team? And why was Debbie so grateful for their support if they wasn't even the ones that found the body? We're actually going to get back to that. We're going to break that down in another video because that doesn't make any sense to me.
it's obviously a chance, and that may be where the rumours have come from. There is a boy on TikTok, I'll show you his profile in a minute, his name's called Joe, and he has been saying since the very beginning that he has inside information and knows the people who are holding Jay. This is his username here, Joe1987. Here he's saying, my friend had a big fight with Lee Byrne and Liam Byrne, his son. Okay, now I don't know where Joe's from. I know that when he speaks, it's really hard sometimes to break down what he's saying. So people have asked him, like, do you know if Jay's still alive? And he said, yes. Jay is alive and stuff like that. This video was also put out in which they said that it was Jay sleeping in a home on a sofa. Apparently this is Brandon having a fight.
I mean, listen, to be quite fair, you see that picture that you just saw of Jay allegedly sleeping on a sofa? That's what they're saying. That picture is exactly the same as them putting up a picture of him with the red blanket saying it's Jay.
Who apparently is one of the people that's holding Jay Slater. This, according to Joe, is the man inside of Jay's coffin. And this, according to Joe, is where Jay is being held today. And we believe this is somewhere in Ibiza. Now, I personally didn't believe what Joe was saying. I thought he was somehow confused or was making it up. I just didn't know. That is until Quack Quack started saying that Joe is a rat. And that made me think, what is he ratting? A rat is a grass, right? It's somebody who rats you out to the authorities or other people. And now Ayub is calling Joe a rat, which makes you think, is there some truth in what Joe is saying? And if there is, I believe Ayub has made a massive mistake by bringing this to everyone's attention, because now everyone is going to go and look for Joe and what Joe is saying. And what Joe is saying is that Jay Slater is still very much alive and being held against his will. He is saying that because of something Brandon did and a fight that Brandon got into with the person I showed you the photo of, that Jay is being kept against his will. And also this is why Jay Slater's mum still has the GoFundMe going, because at some stage she will have to pay off a debt. This to me, I'm going to be really honest, seems really far-fetched. And I'm only putting this video out because so many people are asking me what I think about it, and I really don't know. But this is what's being said, and the comments are open, so you guys can just, if you have any extra information, if you believe this, if you don't believe this, just put it in the comments, because I'm just really confused with it all.
I'm a bit confused as to why Ayub's giving the guy airtime, or is he misdirecting the whole thing? Now, the inquest, what's actually happening with the inquest? We were told about the inquest in August of 2024. We are now in November. The GoFundMe is still up and running. Why is the GoFundMe still up and running? Even received donations a few days ago. We are going to look at the GoFundMe in more detail, because there's a message that Debbie put on that GoFundMe that doesn't make any sense. Why doesn't it make any sense? Because allegedly Chris and his side chick are the ones that found Jay Slater. But according to Debbie, she's thanking the Netherlands team. It seems like it was the Netherlands team that found Jay. And they're canines. What do you guys think? In the meantime, hit the like button and make sure you subscribe to this channel if you are newly watching. We've got some great content on this channel, a variety of different content for you guys to watch. So make sure you subscribe, turn your notification bells on so you don't miss out on that content. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one.